All right, let's get into it. The biggest scandal in college football in a long time, and certainly of the offseason, Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby. This is my take of the week, and my flat-out take is that Brendan Sorsby should be able to play college football this season. I know it's ridiculous. I know it sounds crazy because the world we live in with gambling, where if you bet in your own games, you seem like the biggest criminal in the world. But Brendan Sorsby is a college kid. Brendan Sorsby didn't play in those games. Brendan Sorsby was a freshman in 2022. He's a fifth-year senior now. Maybe he's matured. Maybe he hasn't. A lot of college kids, not just Brendan Sorsby, not just football players, love to place micro bets on anything. So if Brendan Sorsby wants to put on a Reds game when he's at Cincinnati and put a micro bet on the first pitch being a strike or not, that's not the end of the world. Now, it's a deeper, darker issue, but shouldn't threaten your entire eligibility. College sports are just ruthless. They are. Cincinnati, his former team, they played out last season, apparently knew about this whole scandal before of last season. But they swept under the rug because you have one of the best quarterbacks in the country and you want to have a good team. You want to have a good team. So the day they stopped suing Brendan Sorsby, the day Brendan Sorsby asked Cincinnati to dismiss their lawsuit and for the case to be thrown out because their lawsuit against him had nothing to do with the gambling. Their lawsuit against him was that he left for Texas Tech and he didn't give them a $1 million buyout. Fair request, but we don't see those situations work in college sports very often, so they decided to sue him. The second Brendan Sorsby wanted that case dismissed, I think this story got planted. Now Texas Tech, and this is where things get ruthless, they're trying to plant the story that, hey, Cincinnati knew about it the whole time, which they probably did. Brendan Sorsby wasn't necessarily shaving games here, a suspension of 3 games or more. I know it sounds very light for a crime like this, where he's betting on other games that you can't do. You can't even bet in NBA or MLB or NFL when you're in college football or a college athlete, which, was something that was going to go through and didn't. For betting on his own games at Indiana is another thing, a game he didn't play in. But are we really going to rob this guy, Texas Tech, where maybe you give him up all your NIL money, who's going to maybe be the college football Aaron Rodgers of this season? That's his NFL comp. A guy who could be a first-round pick. A guy who could definitely be a big brand for the NCAA. A guy who could be a big brand for Texas Tech and one of the best players in college football. We're not going to let him play because these micro bets that in 2022 were made and you didn't catch it until now, that's one thing. That's the thing I'm focused on here. College sports are ruthless. Scandals happen. Cover-ups happen. Cincinnati covered it up. Texas Tech didn't cover it up. That's why they sent him to a gambling rehab facility. It's a tough situation for Brendan Sorsby. You shouldn't be making $5 million NIL after this, in my opinion. Let him play. Make him give up the NIL. He'll make it back in the NFL. Suspend him a couple games. But to throw away his whole entire last season of college football and the rest of his eligibility to where he can't even get drafted in the regular NFL draft, he'll have to go in the supplemental NFL draft maybe next week and play in the NFL next year. That's the stage we've gotten to at this point. That's where it becomes rough. The amount of things that the NCAA can be lenient on and hard on and harsh on vary. Sometimes they're too lenient, sometimes they're too harsh. I think in this situation, what the outcome is going to be is that they're going to be too harsh on Brendan Sorsby, a guy who can be the face of college football for something that was done in 2022 on his own team and something that every other college kid does, it seems like, up until now. Brendan Sorsby made a mistake. He's not deserved to have his whole entire football career at Texas Tech taken away because of it. There's a lot of regulations that need to be made. I agree with that. On gambling, on NIL, on transferring, on a ton of things that are involved in this issue here with Cincinnati, Texas Tech, and NCAA. But that's where I stand on Brendan Sorsby, a guy in his third school, Indiana, Cincinnati, and now Texas Tech. I don't believe he was shaving games. I don't believe that at all. And I do believe he should play college football this season.